Hello gorgeous, I'm glad to see you here. I was postponing making this video for so long because there is literally thousands of videos from different creators teaching you how to become confident. It's such an overused topic and I thought that I don't need to share my view. But after I watched a couple of those videos for research purposes, I realized that I do want to share my opinion. I want to tell you what is confidence and how to get it. Because the concept of becoming confident is extremely easy. And I want to make your life easier. The execution part, though, can be hard and socially awkward, but we will talk about the main obstacles and how to overcome them so you actually can become confident. If you're interested, let's start. Firstly, let's talk what is not confidence. Confidence has nothing to do with the way you walk, talk, communicate with someone in non-verbal ways, stand in some poses before entering the room so that everyone's eyes can be on you. Come on, you're not a narcissist, you don't have a superiority complex. Confidence is about your inner state. It has nothing to do with the way you want other people to perceive you. That's why you don't need to learn all of those billions, gazillions different rules how to be perceived as confident. That's good news. So what is confidence then? This word derives from Latin words confidere, which means with trust. Trust in who? Trust in what? Let me read you Cambridge Dictionary definition of confidence. It's the quality of being certain of your abilities or of having trust in people, plans, or the future. Let's focus on the first half of this definition, being certain of your own abilities. The main reason you don't feel confident is because you believe you don't have certain traits of character or abilities to do what you intended to. And that leads us to the first question you need to ask yourself. Why would you like to become confident? Anytime you would like to change something about you, about your lifestyle, you should be asking what's the final purpose of it. What could change in your life if you would become confident overnight? You can help yourself answering this question with your previous failures. Look back at your previous week. Recall all of those moments when you wanted to do something, but you feel shame or insecurity about doing it. For example, you were talking to someone and you wanted to express your opinion, but you were afraid it wouldn't be perceived nicely, you would be misunderstood, or someone will think that you are a little bit silly. So what was the failure is that you didn't express yourself freely. Write it down as your first failure. And what would happen if you become confident is that you can speak up your mind freely. Come back to me when you have at least 3 of these failures written down on your paper. I mean, okay, you don't really need to write it down, but at least have it in your mind. Because now our task is to see what's common in those 3 failures, united in one top 1 priority that you have right now. Maybe you want to become confident to reduce fear of being misunderstood. Maybe you want to not care about what other people think of you at all. Maybe you would like to dress as you want without thinking that it might be a little bit too much. Or maybe you want to become confident to talk in front of the camera on your online blog. Now, when you have this main priority, the boring part begins. We need to write a plan. You see, it would be really difficult for you to become confident in the area where you have 0 to little practice. If I would start talking to you in Italian, my speech will start with ciao bella and arrivederci, because that's all I have. And we don't want to be overconfident in our abilities and think that we can actually come to Mars and stop the war in one day. I'm not talking about those men, girl. You deserve to be better. So depending on your goal, you can create daily, weekly, monthly plans of small steps that you can do to become more confident over time. But if your goal is being more confident while presenting your ideas, Well, you might not have daily opportunities to practice it, but at least ensure that you have it once per week or one per month, depending, of course, on your lifestyle. While thinking about those baby steps towards your final goal, recall how you learned a foreign language. You started with very basic conversation, how to introduce yourself, talk about your family, numbers, days of week, and only then you were slightly progressing and talking more about your hobbies and then about your career. And the same applies to your plan. If you're currently afraid of speaking your mind freely, start with people that you already have some trust in, with your family, in the bakery, to some strangers in the street. I don't know, start asking them what's the time. And then when you progress, you can come to the point where you will be talking your mind freely with professors, with your managers and C-suite. Let me give you an example from my own life. Recently, I gave my first presentation of solutions to the CEO. Was I afraid of that presentation? Yes. Was I confident though that I can handle it? Absolutely. Why? Because I had hundreds of different presentations before. To managers of the companies when I was solving some case studies, to professors at my faculty, even to my English students. I had so much experience presenting and delivering all of my solutions that when it came to the CEO, the synergy effect accumulated and I was sure that I can do it. It's sad how many people are stuck in this never-ending cycle of being insecure. It starts with your feeling that you're not confident, and because of that, you decide to not take any actions because you don't believe you can do it. If you don't take actions, it leads you to even worse state because you see that you suck. You couldn't achieve anything because you were just afraid of trying with these baby steps. And this even worsen your state of being unconfident. And it's always repeating. The only way to break this cycle is to start doing something. Now let's talk about the main obstacles that will hold you from becoming confident and how to reframe your mindset. The first obstacle is, of course, fear of failure. How are you gonna start doing something if you believe beforehand that you will fail terribly and everyone will see your mistakes? Now, I don't want to say who told you that you will fail, just try do it. Yes, you will fail many times, you will have many mistakes, but this is your learning path. You need to know those mistakes so in the future you can avoid them and become better essentially. Is it unpleasant? Yes. Can you learn from someone else's mistakes? Yes, wise people should do that, but mostly doesn't work like that. You need to fail yourself in order to remember those painful lessons and never ever repeat them again. But I want to make a short disclaimer here. If you were doing something over and over again, each time trying new strategies, improving yourself, and you still see 0 to little progress, I know it might feel very frustrating and you risk giving up at the end. And there are two scenarios. The first one is that you're seeking up professional help. Maybe you want to find a mentor, someone who can coach you. And if you don't see any progress even with that person, then you should reconsider whether this is your goal actually. Maybe it's not meant for you, and that much effort that you are giving away is just exhausting you but doesn't bring you anywhere. Maybe you should focus on something else instead. Second obstacle is of course very connected to the first one, and that is negative past experiences. Again, you can change it by taking time to analyze what went wrong in your previous attempts and then make sure you don't do the same mistakes. For example, I baked a cake recently and my biscuit didn't turn out fluffy as I wanted. Next time, I will make sure to add more yogurt or milk or baking powder so that it can become better. So with all next attempts, try changing something for a little bit and see, maybe you can succeed a little bit more. And the last obstacle is of course demanding too much from yourself, and having high expectations. It's such a good excuse for your brain. You have only two options. You do something perfectly or you don't do anything. But you will never be able to do something perfectly. Even if you do something for 1,000 million times, it might be very decent, it might be professional. Would it be ideal? No. And that's the blessing of our life. We always have challenges to overcome. Without it, our life would be extremely boring. I am currently developing my YouTube channel. By the way, you can subscribe so you see my growth and listen to my ideas. So choose your path of improving. Step on it with honor of becoming a little bit better step by step, and see how you're more fulfilled and how you're more happy about your life. See you in my next video. Ciao!